Hi, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to CEO Conversations with me, Dana Hayes Burke, also known as the Vision Builder. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super glad that you are here. It is an amazing experience to be able to do this, even when you have slight difficulties and you got to change the time. This is the wonderful thing about being in a technological era. So if this is the first time that you are here, welcome. I am a business strategist, a business coach, and an international conference speaker. And my job is to help micro entrepreneurs like you to refine your business model so you can pay yourself more, you can scale your business, and you can finally have that dream life you always wanted from your business. And today with me, every third Monday, we have the virtual CFO. So I'm going to pass you over to Andrea so she can introduce herself to you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I am Andrea Raghu, and I am your virtual CFO. I help you manage your money better so that you make better financial decisions for your business. I am the voice of your money, and I help you take your business from being a liability to an asset, so that your business becomes a blessing and not a burden. And of course, along the way, we're making it sustainable, as Dana said, to be here for the long run. So welcome, everyone. Happy to be here.
Oh, thank you so much for being here, Andrea. Listen, I know the last time we had this conversation, you and I think it lit some fires, and there was some ignition in the minds of persons because, again, so often you get caught up in the business of doing the business that you don't have time to plan for your business, the financial plan or the strategic plan. And then, you're just going along with the trends as they come. And, so there's this principle that I have that tactics without strategy leads to failure. So that is kind of where a lot of people are finding themselves. But here we are now, holiday season. And we're going to kickstart with the conversation starter. Holiday season is upon us. This week it's Thanksgiving. It's a US holiday, but it has been making waves all across the world. And on the heels of Thanksgiving, there is this great big thing, Black Friday sales. And everyone and their friend who is in business is thinking about having a Black Friday sale, And I've been noticing something. A lot of them are coming out with 30% off, like we're Amazon, like we're Walmart, like it's Best Buy.
You want to roll with the big boys.
Here's what I found that has happened for a lot of people who do this, 30% off. So you get a bunch of sales. So your sales quantity as a number of transactions has increased. But at the end of that sales period, when you look at your revenue, you didn't receive much more money than a regular period of time. So what are your thoughts, Andrea, when you see those kinds of situations?
Oh, my heart breaks when I see those things. It's like a gut punch and I go, why? Because what I see is an erosion of profits. That's all I'm seeing. I'm seeing dollars going down the drain. I'm seeing profitability being eroded. It's the erosion of your sales value with no matching reduction in what you're giving out. It's the same product, and you're just for a reason, because you want to have the sale, you're selling it at a lower price, but you have not modified what you have done. So if it costed you $10, it's still costing you $10, but yet still I'm selling it for less. This is an erosion of your profitability, and it creates unsustainable situations because it means every year you're going to have to offer discounts. So for me, I see erosion of value as in the value of your product or service because you're cutting your sales price. I see erosion of profits. The resulting line is erosion of profits. And I see unsustainable situations because how do you copycat that next year to get back that situation? Unsustainable.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And quite frankly, in addition to unsustainable, unnecessary. Because I'm sure if I ask some of you why you're doing a sale, the only reason you can say is because it's Black Friday.
Because it's Black
Because
Friday.
some guru somewhere on your social media platform say there's how much of a billion of
This
people.
trend.
It's a trend. You're leaving money on the table. Well, you know what? You literally just did that. You left.
You
all
throw the
your
money off the table. You throw the money off the table. Like I just, it's ironic. Black Friday, and I think, Black Friday could leave you in the red.
Yes.
So that's we saying it's Black Friday, but at the end of it, you could possibly very well end up in the red. Maybe not immediately, because at the same time you will get the sales, but because of that unsustainable situation, 6 months from now you could be in the red, still dealing with the impact of having done that disastrous Black Friday.
Yeah. So we have a few people that are on with us on LinkedIn. So say hi in the chat. We're very happy you're here. Thank you for grabbing that dinner and coming and sitting with us at this table to find out how you can make these potential opportunities work for you. But if you're on and you are thinking about having a Black Friday offer or even a Christmas offer, just let us know in the chat. If you have any questions, let us know. Whether we see it now live or after, we will respond to you, right? But this is a critical question that we need to answer. How much percent is too much? Because, we love the simplicity of somebody saying to you 25%, somebody saying to you 10%. But the truth is, and I'm sure, Andrea, you could attest to the truth is, it varies from business to business because there's something key that you need to know before you even think about offering a sale. What do you think are some of the things that business owners, micro entrepreneurs need to know?
So definitely, you want to understand first your industry, right? Let's understand, are you giving the discounts to come in line with your competitors? Because then if that's the case, then you have a pricing situation, right? Because it means for you to come in line, everybody else selling at $25 and you selling at $35. So you tell yourself, well, I'll offer a discount and come in at the 25. Well, then no, you have a problem because it means you weren't priced right to start with. So you want to understand what is happening in your immediate industry, right? Then you want to understand, okay, what is happening? Where is my business in terms of scalability? Am I at a position where sales are constantly coming in? Is it that is it that I need to do the discount to push the quantity, or am I at a pace where my business has scaled and I'm riding this really sustainable wave of constant sales? Why that is important is because we spoke about the copycat replicability issue. If it is you're doing this to jumpstart, or as I've seen people use it that way, well, I'll do it to jumpstart just to get people in the door, then that may not be, you wanna understand where your business is, because if your business is not in the right place, it won't be able to afford the discount, right?
But can I just jump in on that point there, because that's a very significant point. One of the things that we have to understand when you're running a business, and this is a fundamental thing, that a business sales is a transaction between people. You are establishing a relationship with your customer. And sometimes you got to be careful. If you are coming in to like establish yourself in business and you come in under a sale, I have this thing for those of you who are in the Caribbean, you kind of gonna put yourself in the rattan stage of place of business, like this, you are the discount person and not the value person. So it's the same thing. It's like you become the discount spot, the dollar store variety, as opposed to becoming what you actually want to become, because you really do solidify in the mind of your client. Pricing is one of those things that solidifies value in the mind of a consumer. It's basic consumer behavior. Because I remember once, just to give an example, someone came to me for business coaching, and we had our consultation call, and then I came to my price, And I said what my price is, and she smiled because I do my calls on Zoom, right? She smiled. She said, good, that's a nice price. Because later on, she said to me, if my price point was much lower, she would not have believed that I was capable of helping her. Because there is an expectation in the mind of a consumer of how much they pay for something. This is the entire reason why Louis Vuitton does not have a Black Friday sale. Can I get an amen?
Hey.
This is the entire reason why all of these premium brands, Gucci Black Friday, nothing. Why are they, even though they do have sales sections, these are not highly advertised? Because if you come and try to sell me a big Gucci for 50 US, we're going to think that it's not a Gucci, and we're not.
It's not a Gucci, correct.
So that's what that point, you know, when you're talking about what is your intention, sometimes I honestly think a lot of entrepreneurs misuse the idea of using a sale to get into the market. They use it so badly that they're never able to take their prices out ever again. Yeah.
Never able to get themselves out of the situation. And the thing about it, it's such a slippery slope. You know, when we go down that discount slope, it's a very slippery slope to just giving it away for free, right? You know, and the last thing that, you know, they need to understand is that magic number. So first two things, you want to understand where, you know, what is happening in the industry. Are you competitively priced? Are you scaled in terms of quantities? But what is your magic number? When your magic number is called your break-even. What is your break-even point? You know, that is the point at which no return. I've made zero profit. So you want to know that point, because if you offer discounts that go below that point, think of it as a graph, right? You know, you have this line here and everything above the line is good. It means, yeah, things are happening. And if you go below the line, you're literally sinking. Right. So you want to know what this point is, because if I go out there and offer a discount and I blurt out, yeah, 30% off, and part of that 30% goes below the line, then where am I going? Where am I going?
In the pit.
You're going in the red. Yeah. So that is what micro entrepreneurs have to understand. They have to know what that is for their business. And every business, of course, looks different. So every business will have a different break-even. The break-even is also linked by, I said, the first 2 points. It's also linked to where you are in your business journey. You know, if you've accomplished efficiencies and you've accomplished the scalability factor of things, you might be able to withstand, you know, a bigger discount versus somebody who's now starting out. Right? Yeah. You know, you might not be able to sustain any discounts at all, right? So it's also based, so when you're starting off, that break even might be high because you're still trying to build. But then, I don't know, 3 to 5 years later, you may find it will get better because you've developed efficiencies and your business is just generally running better. So you find you move from a break-even point of 100 per month to maybe 80. Because of what you've implemented. So,
and when you say 100, because I want to ensure that everybody understands, because I know what you're talking about, you know what you're talking about, but the layman entrepreneur many times has no sense of that. So when you say 100 or 40, you're talking about units?
We're talking about units. We're talking about that units, and even if your service unit / service iteration, number of times you're offering service, or number of times. So if it is you as we are consultants, if it is we offer consultations, you know, that's our bread and butter, then 100 would mean I have to offer 100 consultations in order for me just to break even. If you have a product, you're selling candles, I have to sell 100 candles before I could even get back what I've spent. That's when we talk about break even point, we're talking about it in number of sales.
So now that we've clarified that, so hopefully that's helpful to you. Of course, if you're on and you have any questions, I'm looking down because I'm looking at the screen elsewhere. But if you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. Andrea is here. She's happy to assist you. If you are enjoying this conversation, let us know. I want to ask you, Andrea, if you were to explain in very clear layman terms some of the things that entrepreneurs need to think about or look at in order to ascertain their break even? If they were trying to DIY it before they came to you, what would you tell them to look at?
So there's something called a break-even formula. So you want to get very familiar with the elements of the formula, right? So the break-even formula, remember we said we're calculating it in units. It's basically the fixed cost divided by your gross profit. And the gross profit, so let's take it in turn. Gross profit is your first level of profit, and it's a number that any business owner, you must know what your gross profit is. It's basically your sales less your variable cost / your direct. These are the words that we could use interchangeably. Variable cost, direct cost, cost of sales. That's the broad bucket, right? So your sales price less your cost of sales, that figure becomes your gross profit. Right. Now, that gross profit has a job to do. The first job was to take care, the sales price job was to take care of the variable cost. What is left now has to take care of your fixed cost. So that's why we say the fixed cost now divided by that figure, how many items do you need to sell to get that? So I'll demonstrate with an example. So let's say you sell candles for $50 for one. It's Christmas, so I went with candles. We making traditional scents, right? Yeah. So you selling your candles $50 for one. Your materials, your direct materials, the wax, the thing, the jar, everything comes up $20 for one. That you've done that maths already. You know it costs $20 to make one candle. So your gross profit is $30. Good, sounds nice. Your fixed cost for the month is $3,000. And when I say fixed cost, your own salary, let's say, your own salary paid yourself. If you're renting a small space somewhere, the utility bills, the internet, whatever, right? Not going to go into detail, but fixed cost is $3,000. So therefore, 3,000 divided by 30, you need to sell 100 candles. But that by selling 100 candles, all you've done is just
survived.
You just survived. That's all you've done. You have not put away anything for a rainy day. You have not paid you just barely paid yourself. You haven't gotten any extra profit that you can reinvest into the business.
So go ahead. I like this example because
I'm going to tack on my discounts. So this is how we're operating, right? So we're selling and we decide, okay, I want to give 30% discount. Well, at a 30% discount, your price now becomes $35. Now, that's the 3,000 hasn't changed, The 3,000 hasn't changed, nor has the $30 changed, right? But nothing has changed. So now my same $3,000 divided by 35, I now need to sell 143 candles just to survive. So I've gone from putting out effort to sell 100 to sell 143. Because here's what would have happened. Without a discount, I would have known my break even is 100. So therefore, in the month, if I sell 125, anything after 100 is profit. I know I've made a profit because okay, break even is 100. Anything over 100 is pure profit coming back to me. I would have covered my costs, right? Let me tweak the example a little bit because I've heard people like estheticians and hairstylists and stuff. They use this maths in their head. You know what they do? They know they make their rent in week 1. I had a nail tech tell me, she's like, Andrea, in the first week, my rent is covered. She's like, by the time I do that, boom, boom, boom. So by the time she gets into week 2 and week 3, she already knows in her mind she's raking in profit because she has covered her rent, because usually that's their main fixed cost.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. If as you were selling your 100 candles, you would have known anything after 100, you start to say, okay, I've made a profit. But when you give the discount, you've now added on 43 more sales that you have to get before you could dress back and say, I've made a profit.
So now let's look at this. I want to look at this now from the mindset of the entrepreneur who at the end of the year is really their big period. I know quite a few candle makers, people who make decorations, people who have artisan things like, body, whatever. And the end of the year, their gift sets, they make all of the money, right? And they are still in that time, they know they make all of the money, but they do offer the discount still. I want you to think about it now, right? Where you will now be making 150 sales, using the same example, you make 150 sales for the Christmas period. What you just did was just made the same amount of money as the 100 sales. And now at the end of Christmas, you're like, why I still have no money? Because you did that. So were you really thinking that, man, everything that I didn't make for the the year before, for the 11 months before, I'm making it now. But you're really not, because you just put a discount on it. And what is even worse now, because the thing about it is that gross profit will change even in Christmas time, because a lot of them go to fairs. So when you go to fairs, think about it, that's $300 per fair.
Correct. I didn't even factor that. That's the thing. You will have these additional things. I haven't even factored if costs went up, right? Yeah. You're living in inflationary times. Let's assume that $20 moved to 22 or 25, and you probably can't pass it on to the customer. So further diluting the profit that we spoke about and diluting your the money that you get to take home at the end of the day, right? So slippery slope.
That's have to be so careful with these discount things. I'm telling you all, like, tactics without strategy, failure. So you're doing the tactic because everyone is doing it. But I'm sure, like, some of you are probably screaming right now because you're like, oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. But you have to be able to afford the discounts. You cannot be jumping on these trends if your business cannot afford it. You have to assess where your business is. And anything about it is, I am not saying no to discounts in its entirety, but what is the strategy and the purpose of offering the discount, right? And are you clear with and this is when you get into the marketing, are you very clear in your messaging to your consumer that, hey, this is a one-time only thing, but the purpose of this discount is because discounts, discounts work great, you have excess stock. So maybe it's seasonal. So you made all these Christmas candles and you realize, hey, it's
season Boxing Day.
Yeah, we reach Boxing Day, I will not be able to sell this. Okay, you need to get it off your hands because it's going to cost you more in the long run to hold on to it. Because remember, your cash is tied up in that. Remember, you put out cash to make those candles. So if you can't turn that around, you'll have no money. So at that point in time, yes, run a discount, get rid of it, get the cash back in, and of course, learn your lesson, because clearly if you end up with too much after Christmas, something went wrong, that's a whole other conversation. But definitely have a very clear strategy with offering the discount. So we're not just going to offer the discount because everybody else is doing it. Remember, I go back to, I said, look at your own space, right? If your space not known for doing Black Friday, right? Why are you doing it? Just to put hashtag Black Friday, right? If your space is not known for it, and I said, look at your own business. If your business cannot sustain it and cannot afford it, don't do it. When your business becomes sustainable and can afford it, then with the right strategy, you could execute some sort of discount situation.
Yeah. So this is one of the key takeaways, and I want to just say to a lot of business owners who are looking on, you don't need a discount. Can I just say that? Because I did the research last week. That's what I shared. Like, what are people's perspective? The first thing is people come to buy on sales what they've been looking at anyway, and have probably been already saving towards if it's a higher end offer. So you don't really need to do the sale. That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you are a seasonal product, your season is coming whether there is a sale or not.
Correct.
If you are a black cake maker, your season is upon you. You do not need the discount.
Correct. Your discount is needed when you're out of season.
When you're out of season. When you see it's like December 28th and you still have 4 dozen pastels that not sold, offer your discount. But you see, right about now, if you're seasonal and your season is coming, you do not need a discount. And also, what I need you to take away from this is whether or not you're thinking of the sale or not, you got to take Andrea's advice and know your break-even point. Because a lot of us, don't know if we're going or coming. And of course, Andrea, you spoke about cash flow on the last occasion last month. And this, I think, is very, very linked.
It is. It's a direct relation. It's less cash coming in. The minute you hit a discount, it's less cash coming in.
Yeah. So what would you give people as homework to do, Andrea?
Calculate your break-even. Take the formula and calculate your break-even, right? Like I said, we explained it. Listen on the replay. We explained it very simply. If you Google it, you will find the formulas. Of course, there are a lot of more complex ways to it. I've broken it down into the simplest formula, which is your fixed cost divided by your gross profit, right? Yeah. And that gives you the number of units that you need to get to the break-even, right? But further than that, what you would also need to do, there's the break-even, the basic break-even, and then there's and this would be my term, your realistic operational break-even, meaning the break-even that you want to exist in your business. So if I go back to my example, the 100 candles was just to literally survive. But obviously that's not what you want your business to do. So what you may say is that operationally, you want to get your target is 125, right? So you know that every month I must hit 125, right? So that I could get that 25 in profit every month. And at the end of the year, you have 25 times 12, in terms of your profit. So we have the mathematical, what the math say, but you also want to set almost like a targeted break-even. Mm-hmm. That is the one that you will actually operate by.
That's what you're focused on, because at the end of the day, you're not in business to simply survive.
Correct. And you're in business to grow.
Exactly. And I want to add the other side of that conversation from a marketing business strategy side. When you are cognizant of your numbers, it also allows you to be more empowered in your strategy and in your marketing. Because now, so a lot of you are going to now try to say, well, if it's 100, I need to chase 100 one-to-one sales. How about you diversify your marketing structure? How about you go from simply a B2C, which is business to consumer, to now a B2B? You have to now diversify your marketing strategy as a part of your holistic business strategy to hit those numbers. I think if you put this all in a context of everyday decision making, if you don't know this, you can't make the right choices and decisions this side. So then we become frustrated with our social media. Sorry guys, I can say this, there aren't enough reels in the world sometimes to help a micro business that's now starting off to land 100 sales off of Instagram. I know that many people will not tell you that, but social media is a slow sale. It is a slow sale. It is a slow relationship builder. So then what is your ultimate strategy to hit that break-even point? But you can't decide your ultimate strategy if you don't even know what you are actually working towards. And that's why all of these conversations go hand in hand together, because you cannot make these decisions in isolation. It's to consider your business like the body that you have. Everything is connected. It's all connected. But if you don't know, your brain doesn't know that you have a right foot. It will not use the right foot. right? Similarly, if you don't know what you are aiming towards in your business, operational break even, regular break even, survive this month and aim for the operations the next month, operational break even the next month. If you don't know, then you can't make astute choices for your positioning, for your business model, for your marketing. None of those things can be done well. So that's why these conversations are important. And that's why you need to do your homework.
Yep. And I love how you yeah, that everything is connected. Everything is connected. I mean, you've been on my other show. That's what we talk about. We connect the dots for those 4 areas. And a finance decision has implications for sales and marketing and operations. And you have to look at it from a holistic perspective. So we can't just say you want to offer the Black Friday and jump on this trend and not consider what does it mean from a finance perspective. And then what does it mean from a marketing perspective? Because like you said, if you put it out there and people start seeing your brand as a discount brand, then you damn it, your marketing will be screwed, right?
Your positioning is affected.
All these decisions are impacted. All these decisions impact one another, so you cannot operate in silos.
And I have this thought, just, as we are coming to the conclusion, and if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. There is a point where you have to move out of the hustler mode in your business and move towards the CEO positioning. Many times we talk about being CEOs. These are the difficult, unattractive, boring as hell things that you need to do as a CEO. It's not about the glitz and glamour, and it's not the branding photo shoot, and it's not the big desk. It is looking at your numbers, it is looking at your facts, looking at your evidence, and making critical choices and decisions for your business from it. Now, if you want to migrate from that hustler entrepreneur stage to finally becoming the CEO of your business, you have to make those mindset changes and those operational shifts now. I believe in creating right habits, right? That's why I set up my business the way that I set it up from the beginning. That's why Andrea set up her business the way that she set it up from the beginning. Because when you create the right operational habits, when you bring people in to duplicate you, there are systems in place, there are structures in place, there is a scalable foundation so that the house doesn't fall down, right? So if you really want to become a CEO, it is critical to do what Andrea has said and several other things that we talk about on CEO conversations. It's really, the CEO conversation is not just because I like the name CEO, guys. It's because I'm really on a mission to help you to elevate yourself from just that entrepreneur, chase the money, chasing part of your life, to finally being in the entrepreneur, in the CEO phase, where not only are you making cerebral choices, critical decisions from a place of evidence, but you're also setting up structures where your business can work for you. We need our businesses to work for us. We ain't getting younger, we're getting older.
Correct.
So those of you who are on, if there's anything that stood out to you, please drop it in the comments. As Andrea, if you have any closing words that you want to share with business as we leave.
Closing words. Listen, I would say entrepreneurship, running your business, it is not a sprint. It is more like a marathon. Hell, it could be a triathlon, right? You go through different phases. And I think business owners, we need to move away from the temptation to do that looking for it fast and quick. You just want to make some money, right? I get, and don't get me wrong, I totally understand and appreciate that for some persons, yeah, this business, if they don't have cash, they die, right? If they do, I totally get that. If you out of a necessity started your business because you lost your job and you're literally looking for money, I get that, but you need to take some time to slow it down a bit and make critical decisions for your business in the long run. Because again, we're looking for sustainability, right? What will end up happening? You're going to suffer burnout, you're going to kill out yourself and then be unable to earn, right? So you've lost your job now. I get that. And you're looking to, right your financial situation. So you go out there and you hustle and you're pushing yourself and think, and then 3 months later, your body gets burnout, and then you have to crash for a whole month, or you can't keep up the level. So what happens in that month 4, 5, 6? We slow down because we get burnout. So, and then I don't make any money. So I'm back to square one. So yes, I know it is very tempting to want to jump on, do these things that could give you a quick sale, but you need to think about what the true cost of that quick sale. Is it something that you could sustain? Because the cost of that quick sale could mean 6 months down the line, you're in a position that you're digging yourself out of a hole because of bad decisions that you've made, in months 1, 2, and 3. So it's just about, it's very tempting. I know it's very tempting, but at some point in time, take that time to think about the decisions. You don't have to change everything overnight, but really sit and look at your operations. Things like this, break even, have that number at the back of your mind, know what it is. And like I say, as simple as it is, I gave the hairstylist and the nail tech explanation. They know that figure, so you could know it too.
True.
Right? Know what it is, and it is not rocket science. Once you know what it is, like I say, I know those girls, they say, listen, after week 1, they know rent is paid and the bills are paid, and they know that, okay, the following week, I'm making the salary, right? What thing? And then the third week, and it could look like that, right? And these are not, I haven't pulled up any magic templates to show you. It's about a mindset and the way that they view their business and operate. So, having numbers like this at the back of your mind, quick math, you will know, I can't afford to do that, because I know what our magic number is.
Yes.
And if I offer this discount, if I go below my example was the candle of $50, that's $55. Know what that number is. Suppose when we do the math, we establish that $45 is a good place to be. Then it means if you offer any discount that causes you to make less than $45 on a candle, you know that
you're making a loss.
Right? And that is different than doing it and not knowing, and then at the end of the month now wondering, how come I didn't meet?
How come I had 200 sales, 100% more in sales quantity, and less,
and I still can't make rent,
and less money than I would normally have? So this is a proper conversation. Michael said, try to add value instead of adding a discount. She said a great conversation, and Nicholas said that finally the break even was a big standout for him. So guys, you have this information, and it's only useful to you if you go away and do something. So Andrea has given you some homework. Go back to the recording. I'll see if I can crop out that segment of how to calculate your break even and put it out there for you all, because the intention is that you can go away empowered to do something that will be a game changer for your business. And particularly as you wrap up 2022 and step into 2023, we have to certainly be far more astute with our financial decisions, because the economy and everything is not as merciful and as gracious as it was to us in times past. So thank you so much, Andrea. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to everybody who came on in our PM edition.
Yes.
I'll see your conversation, and Andrea will be back again with us in the month of December. She is on every third Monday of the month. Please leave your comments, tell us thank you, let her know how much you appreciate her ad. And I love it because, the virtual CFO provides all the context you need, and she's the voice of your money. Okay, so have a great one, everybody, and see you next Monday.